What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Righteous Reaction. We're about to look at Spider Man No Way Home and understand three vital principles that all Christians can learn from this movie. Now, I want to just warn you right up front that there are a few spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, don't watch this video. Okay. But if you have seen it or you really don't care about the movie, but you just want to understand these essential principles that is going to make your Christian life much more effective and mature you so that you can be the person that God called you to be, so that you can be the child that He called you to be and reach the purpose that He created you to reach, then make sure you stick around and watch this. So let's go ahead and hop right into it.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man, we started getting some visitors.
All right. So, right from the beginning, what do we need to understand? We got to understand that a double minded man is unstable in all of his ways, right? James 1:8. A double minded man is unstable in all his ways. So, remember, he went to Doctor Strange. He wanted help. Doctor Strange says, I'll help you. And in the midst of the spell, I understand this is Christian, so don't get caught up in the spell. We don't do the magic thing, but in the midst of it, he wanted to change this. He wants to change that. He wants to change this. He wants to change that. No, no, no. Look what it says. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask God, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given to him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering, for he who wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. All right. So if you need help, if you want wisdom, if you are trying to go through this walk, ask God, and He gives liberally, and He doesn't upbraid you. He's not. This is what He wants to do. Right. This is what He wants to do. Please excuse that sound. But you can't be, oh, well, I want this, no, I want that, no, I want this, no, I need this. You can't be living a double life. And you're going to see that as we go through these three things, because yes, they are all cohesive, but I want to emphasize them separately so that we can form the picture better. Now, number two, with great power comes great responsibility. Now, we know that Aunt May said this to him in this movie, even though it's Uncle Ben in the other movies. But with great power comes great responsibility. So now that you've been bitten, now that you've entered this war, look at what this says. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2. It says, now, therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Christ. No man that warreth entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully, right? So unless if you're trying to mature at something, if you're trying to succeed at something, unless you play by the rules, you're not going to receive the crown. You're not going to receive a reward. And anyone who entangles himself in a war, in a fight, who signs up to be a soldier, he no longer entangles himself in the affairs of this life, right? So this all goes together. With great power comes great responsibility. Now, why? Because you want to please the one who has chosen you to be a soldier. So now that you're in this thing, you can't try to live this double life. You have to understand who God created you to be, what He has designed you to do, and what He's trying to accomplish in you. Actually, we can hop right back over to James real quick and just look at this verse down here. It says, be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. If any man be a doer of the word and not a hearer, he is like a man beholding his natural face in the mirror. That means he sees himself clearly, And he beholds himself, he goes away, and he straightway forgets what manner of man he was. But whosoever look into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, that man shall be blessed in his deed. And I go through all of these verses and a lot more in a live stream that I just did called How God Trains Christians. How does he train his children so that they can mature and carry out their purpose? So if you are interested in that, I will put the link in the bio because I don't want you to leave this video. I will put the link in the description, and then you can go over there and watch that if you want more detail. Now, last but definitely not least, in order to succeed, you need to let go of your old life. So let me go ahead and click right back over here and let's listen to a quick part of this.
Peter, you're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
Did you hear that? You're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose. Whenever you mature, you need to realize the things that you're holding on to, the things from your old life, the things that you're attached to, they are hindering your purpose in being who the world needs you to be, right? So you're still trying to be what the world is trying to make you be, but the world needs you to be something, or more accurately, who Christ desires to be through you to meet the needs of the world. This is Ephesians chapter 4, and it tells us that now that we are in Christ, we are no longer to live as the Gentiles do, right? In the futility of their thinking, having their understanding darkened, etc., etc. You can go ahead and read that in context because this video is not to elaborate. You can go ahead and do that in my full live streams. But listen to what it says here. It's in verse 22. It says, "You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitudes of your mind, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness." Right? Now, did you hear that? With regard to your former way of life, to put off your old self, which is being corrupted according to its deceitful desires. So we know that Peter was trying to live a double life. We understand that by the end of the movie, whenever he had the choice again to try to reintegrate his old life into who he is now that he has been bitten, or in your case, now that the Spirit of God lives in you and you are to be who he has called you to be, now that he has matured, now that he has fully enveloped himself into this is what I signed up for. This is who I am now. I entered the war. I'm not entangled myself again in my old life. He has put that off. He's no longer trying to reintegrate. I already said spoiler alert. So now that he's going back to get his best friend and to get his girl, he actually chose to let them not know who he is. He is going to fully he's not going to be tied down by those things any longer. He's not going to have to worry about them any longer. And to not have to worry about them, he can fully commit himself to be who he is created to be, to fulfill his purpose. And then from that point, you can just let God bring the things into your life that you need, right? It's not that you don't love those things, but some of those things just are not good for you, whatever that may be. In order for you to be who God has created you to be and who the world needs you to be, you have to allow Christ to operate through you and accomplish those things. So I hope this has made a little bit of sense. I'm going to keep getting better with these reactions, but You cannot live a double life. You are a Christian now. Your body is his temple. You have been purchased by him. You have been purchased with a price for him to live through. And now you're don't be conformed to the world anymore, but you need to offer your bodies as living sacrifices so that you can prove who God has created you to be. And if you want to hear a much more elaborate teaching on this, go ahead over to the live stream that I just did, How God Trains Christians, and you can see how this maturation process works. So I love y'all, and I'll see you next time.